Welcome back to Coriander Society Adventures Yokai Blossom, tormented by gnomes here after the break, once again with BeatDownBlvd, Necra, NinjaManMat, and Pods of War. When last we left our heroes, they had come across 3 blossom spirits, Kuroyuri tigers, who had been partially consumed by some sort of strange spirit-burning, eating fire. Thanks to some quick thinking, they managed to cure the tigers and have dispatched their rage and fed them a bunch of gold because Kuroyuri tigers can smell that stuff within at least 60 feet. And as they chow down on Matt's 100 gold coins that he has graciously donated to the cause, the action is once again back on our heroes.
So are they good?
Well, I guess let's find out. Jisha will start, I guess, talking to the tigers and just like ask if they're okay.
They are
Provide
still
more info.
They're still in a great deal of pain, but they will heal. They recount a story for you. How they were prowling through the bloom on the hunt when suddenly they smelled more gold than they'd ever smelt in their lives, except maybe for this pile here that they're rapidly devouring. And when they went on the hunt, there was a very scared half-dragon fleeing through the woods. And he was the one who smelled of riches and wealth and fear and other things. And so they started chasing him down, but there was something behind him. A huge man wearing metal armor with a hungry, devouring fire inside. And he's the one who ate their faces. And there were other spirits there that he completely devoured.
Oh, that's not good.
They say that the rich half-dragon was fleeing from this figure.
Well, that sounds a whole lot like Orv now, doesn't it?
That's what I got from it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, whereabouts did this happen?
Over the mountain, towards the heart of the steel.
Okay, so we'll eventually head that way if we keep going towards the village.
So it wasn't in this woods area?
No. They survived their encounter and they've been stumbling back this way towards their normal hunting grounds.
Question. Over the mountain, does that involve the 7 mountains we have to cross?
It's in the right direction.
Okay, very good.
Do you know which mountain?
Well, it was not Mount Kilimancharizard.
Oh, so that's real. Gotcha.
I think colloquially it's probably pronounced Charizard, but we kind of just,
Yeah, it's something that when fully translated sounds like that, and then John heard it once and just started calling it that, and so as far as he's concerned, that's canon now because that's how he works.
Exactly.
True.
That's fair.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Well,
So-
I think we're good here. I guess we'll have to keep an eye out for the... Well, that must be the synthetic thing, Gastone, that you thought was attacking these tigers.
I guess so.
And
Okay.
Jisha, did they say exactly what it was? Or did they not remember exactly what it looked like?
He
can kinda keep an eye out.
towered above the trees. The earth shook beneath his every step. His mouth grated with a terrible rusty groan when he opened it to consume spirits with fire. He had seals and signs attached to him all over.
And did they confirm this was not a blossom spirit that attacked them? Right?
No, it was not a blossom spirit.
Okay.
Sounds like it was something from the steel if it was large if it was that large and then also covered in metal armor. I don't know. We've got to get there fast. I think
While
we should get going.
While they're telling us the story, John takes out a pad of paper and a pencil and just does a quick sketch. He used to do quite a bit of drawing and
That's smart.
and planning when he was actually back in his old job, and just kind of as his own creative outlet. Can I go ahead and make an artist check of some kind in order to
do you have a skill? Do you have a toolkit for that?
Well, before we updated 5th edition, yes, I did. Otherwise, I'm just going to end up probably using Jack of all trades.
Okay, do Jack of all trades.
Do you have a particular attribute you want me to use for this?
I'm going to say intelligence, because this is about recording information from your brain and then translating it correctly.
24.
24. Yeah, I think I can come up with something for you.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, very cool.
Well, that kind of looks like
Wow.
a robot.
That was what it seemed like what was being described.
We've fought
robot?
robots before.
It's a synthetic organism made by steel.
Oh, okay. Well, then that does make a lot of sense. It does connect everything together.
John kind of turns the page, and then, does anyone else think this looks like a furnace of some kind? Like the grates that they described? Almost like it, consumes, I'm assuming, spirits or other organic matter in order to fuel itself.
Why would a robot eat spirits?
Well, I don't believe this is a traditional robot of sorts.
A magic robot?
I think it's certainly a construct, Asena. I'm not certain of its actual specific properties, but it could be that it is fueled by the energy of the blossom spirits.
Construct.
Construct's another term for robot, but it's a more general catch-all. A robot is a very specific kind of construct.
Not all
Yes.
Mm,
You're getting there. No, you're almost there. You're so close.
I give up.
All robots are constructs, but not all constructs are robots. That's where you were going, right?
Ah, I almost said it.
You almost had it. Exactly. Well, this is interesting. And John kind of walks over to one of the tigers and just puts a hand on it. Thank you very much for not eating us. And looks over at Jisha and Ken. And amazingly done. Unless there was
John.
anything else we needed. Oh, yes?
They can't understand you.
Oh, I think it's more of an emotional thing at this point. Most tigers can't understand me, period. So I think that these yokai tigers are probably no different.
Okay.
Maybe.
Do blossom
Yeah.
spirits understand people? Is it a one-way thing?
Some, but not all. There's a wide variety of them. Like Ken understands and can speak common, but the Onigiri tigers do not.
Ah, interesting. Okay. John is going to present he's going to use a combination of prestidigitation and silent image in order to create a volcano shooting money out of the ground with little hearts. A shower of golden hearts that flow out of the volcano. With, I don't really know if there's a general. It's going to have two hands at the end that pop out of the volcano, are kind of pressed in a very almost like a praying motif. Then it all dissolves into nothingness.
All right.
And he takes his leave.
They look at it. They look at each other. They start seeing if there's any more gold that the rest of them haven't eaten yet. Are the lot of you good to take your leave?
I think
Asena
so.
does not offer any gold.
All right, then. The course of your travels will take you over the first mountain. And for those of you who have experienced like really hardcore mountains, this is another. It's like the
wait,
mountain.
where's Etzelvina? She just
Yeah,
kind of
she-
disappeared and
No,
never
she-
came back.
She emerges from the shadows when she notices that nobody's like she was waiting to shank something, and so as soon as there's nobody to shank, she's like just pops out of a completely different shadow near all of you, not the one she vanished into.
Etzelvina, my dear, going forward, is there anything aside from shish kebabbing, anything we come across that you'd be able to do to try to assist us?
I'm a magnificent dancer, and I have excellent taste in wine.
I think that we can absolutely bring those to bear going forward.
Do they have wine here?
And dancing, I'm
They
sorry.
have alcoholic beverages, absolutely. They do have wine in this world.
So is this how do I say this without sounding awful?
Edelvina, like when the moment she hears you say that, she immediately starts paying attention, like, ooh, what's gonna come out of her mouth next?
Is there nothing that we can hurt in this forest or on our journey?
Could have been worse.
It was really hard to I love tigers. I love animals. It was really hard to do this without hurting them. Just saying.
Yeah. Wait, why?
I think what she's trying to say is that at some point, I don't know, we're not exactly well equipped for the whole negotiating, trying to help this sort of thing. We're more of the, just
Oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
do first and ask questions later.
exactly if they're still breathing.
Okay.
So is that going to be a problem going forward? Do we need to adopt some new skills?
Yes.
Well,
adopt is a good word.
Yeah,
I
as opposed to-
guess what I would ask so that we don't anger the blossom spirits is that we do try to negotiate with as many as possible.
Mhm.
If there is a point where negotiation becomes not possible, then yes. On
And
a
stab?
case by case basis, yes. We might need to use some force. If
That
you
being
will.
said, we don't have to shoot to kill. We could always just disable
True.
our adversaries and then leave them not better than we found them, but at least suitably safe, and we can move on.
Okay.
Leave them not hurting us anymore.
Exactly.
Well, that makes sense then. Yeah. I feel like that would be okay.
Nice. Okay, this is good.
Jisha,
Yeah.
question. The yokai spirits, do they inherently use magic when they are obviously if they're biting or scratching, that's different. But generally when they bring their abilities to bear, does it count as magical energies?
DM.
It varies. When they make their physical attacks, often, Matt, they can overcome things that are their physical attacks are still physical, but they can overcome resistance to magical attacks. What are you looking for here?
So specifically when they do things like stealing luck, or if they're using those tendrils for in regards to the tigers, would that be magical in nature?
When they hit you with their poison, the poison is not magical. Stealing your luck is magical. So their abilities vary case by case. Much like other creatures, being a blossom spirit is kind of like a tag that gets attached to a creature.
Yeah.
But they can come in a wide variety overall.
I understand. The reason I ask, and John kind of takes out his very old-looking magical manacles that he got his hands on when he stole them from Department 7. If we get involved in a situation where there's a magical creature seeking to destroy us, I have these manacles I could put upon them, and it's going to hurt very badly when they cast magic, but it's not lethal. It will just knock them unconscious once they've succumbed to its energies.
Okay,
So it's a
yeah.
non-lethal way of dealing with something if the need should arise.
Sure. I mean, there are definitely aggressive blossom spirits that will will not be open to negotiation. I'll be able to tell you if we come across a situation where those manacles would be useful.
Excellent. Also, as a secondary aside, are there a lot of steel beings that wander the world, or are they mostly regulated to those mountains where they hail from?
Not
No.
even regulated. Like, they don't even emerge. They're inactive.
Well, not all of them.
Well, I guess not anymore. But no, usually not. There's not a whole lot of presence of the steel left in this world, but I have definitely heard some rumors of people like Orvi, for example, in the Oniyuri, that are very interested in reviving a lot of the steel. Maybe they have something to do with this, because it's been a long time since we've heard of or seen anything that's been of the steel.
That's entirely possible. Okay. Well, we should keep a clear eye out. Also, those birds, as long as we don't look at them, they can't steal from us, you said?
Yeah.
Do you happen to know, is it direct eye contact, or can you look at them through a mirror? Is it like a Medusa?
John,
What's a Medusa?
as you
That's
ask this
whatever.
question, one of the Eblis spirits looks at you, and its feathers, its flower feathers, start going. "Grrr."
John does not look at it.
Where are you looking?
John averts his eyes.
Asena covers her eyes.
All right.
John looks Jisha directly in the eyes of her mask, and it's just locked eyes with her.
All right. Directly between the two of you, a twisting pattern of colors starts weaving through, surrounding every single one of you in a 30-foot cube.
Oh, we've gotta go. Gotta go.
if your
Let's go.
If your eyes are open, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Well,
Oh no.
Well, my eyes are open.
I was told as long as I didn't look at it, it would be fine. I didn't realize that it was going to do this. So
You should have
I
been more
tried to
careful,
communicate
John.
that wasn't the case. I
bad.
may have failed.
you did fail, indeed. Mate, would I be able to use a reaction to drop a globe of darkness on us?
Yes, you could do that.
John uses a reaction to drop a globe of darkness on us. Now,
All right,
here's
so-
the thing. No, here's the thing. Everybody can't see except for John, because John can see in magical darkness, so I still have to make a save.
Okay, so John turns out the lights, but he can still see the magical glowing patterns, so roll a
Yep.
save.
And this is a
Wisdom save.
All right. Hey,
This
I'm
is
good
a
at
charm
that.
effect.
25.
All right, you resisted. So it's literally hypnosis. If you see the pattern, you are charmed, you're incapacitated, your speed is 0. And so it just it hits you with the whammy. You stand there
And then it
staring
just
at
comes and takes your stuff and leaves?
and then
Oh
it just
my
takes your stuff and
God!
leaves. That's how it works. It just hypnotizes you, loots you, and leaves.
Oh
Really
my
funny, actually.
goodness. Okay, John is going to, at that point, now that he's, is it one and done for this spell?
No, it lasts up to a minute, and you have to keep saving.
Okay, John is going to, but it's in the middle of all of us, right?
Yeah.
Okay, John drags everybody to the edge of the globe of darkness, still keeping them all inside.
Mm-hmm.
And then he closes his eyes and opens up his briefcase. If anyone has anything they don't want stolen, put it in this bag right here. And John kind of bumps everybody with the briefcase. I will return it once we leave this area.
How do
You
we
get
know-
away or I'm going to blow your head off. And John takes out his gun and just aims outside the darkness.
Okay. I don't think I have anything of value on me, so I'm good.
Sena,
What if you're
Gastone, you
just
good?
trying to steal our things, John?
Define value. I have a lot of things that I technically value.
So
Asena,
Oniyuri
if I
spirits
was
tend
looking
to be
to-
attracted to like precious metals, silks, gemstones. They wouldn't necessarily go for things that are like super expensive but not blatantly wealthy. Like a computer, they wouldn't go. They wouldn't steal your phone because that doesn't have value in their world yet.
What about guns?
No, they wouldn't steal that.
I guess I'm good. They got nothing on me.
They just want valuables, like the tigers, gold.
Okay, fine.
I have Vosky credits. You think they care about that?
Rivosky
Die.
credits are no good here.
Oh, that's shiny?
I'm gonna throw in all my gold along with my gold bracelet and then the bundle of glow sticks.
Okay. John says, I have an Asena pouch here. He makes sure that he puts it all in the Asena pouch. I'll return it to you once we're out of this area. Also, if I was trying to rob you before now, it would have happened when we were on any one of the death worlds that we were stranded on.
That's fair, but if one of those glow sticks is missing, I'm gonna know about it.
How many did you put in there?
3.
Okay, well, you'll get 3 back then.
And don't break it either, because then you kind of activate it and.
I understand how a glow stick works. Asena. Thank you. And with that, we move on, I suppose. And John keeps a wary eye on these birds. And if any one of them gets close enough to try to use this hypnotic pattern, John takes a shot at it. He doesn't specifically try to injure it, but he is going to take his big old revolver and just shoot right at its feet.
All right. Good lord, good lord. So as the bird continues to try to hypnotize you, you're able to extricate yourselves with all of your valuables inside the magical suitcase, and you just keep hearing them like hopping after you. Probably in their language translates to mine, mine, mine. as they just hop after you, like waiting for you, and then as you eventually flee the scene and get away from the glowing hypnotic pattern, they start circling overhead where the lily tigers were going through the treasure, seeing if there's anything that they can pick up from there. But you're able to extricate yourselves with your wealth intact without getting robbed by the magic birds.
Oh my goodness.
All right. The rest of the journey, you are able to go now through the bloom, through these beautiful, overgrown, and it's not the smell. The normal smell isn't like that mulchy smell you get from an old forest where the growth has fallen down and the leaves form a carpet and it's sort of moldering and replenishing the earth, because the smell of flowers is so strong in this place that it overcomes the normal sense you'd associate with a forest. Traveling through, butterflies flutter by, but their wings are flower petals. They're forms of blossom spirits themselves. You see drifting through the sky lazily, like a group of flying jellyfish, a bunch of iridescent white flowers with long fronds, just sort of whoop, 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 drifting past. Eventually, Jisha leads you to a river, and you start to see new colors of flowers. It's less of the rich reds and golds and oranges that you were experiencing before. Now there's an array of very, very dark, brownish red, rich tones, some deep gold tones, almost like chocolate, with these bright, bright red spots in between them that go more and more, and it gets wetter and wetter as you start to walk over. You have to cross more streams and wade through more just like sort of bogged out areas until finally, in the evening, as the sun sets to the west, you have been traveling east. You've now put 2 mountains behind your backs, and you can see them. They're these very, very narrow spires that rise up out of the ground. You put 2 of them to your back as you arrive at the Kuroyuri Village, which is built out over the water, and I can actually show you.
Question, DM.
Yes.
How long did you say it took for us to cross over 2 mountains?
You crossed over the first one. You arrived on the first one, and you've now crossed the second in the course of a day.
Wow. 1 day's worth of travel?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, we're moving pretty well. Excellent.
Pretty good.
Oh, this is lovely. Oh,
Oh,
you've
wow.
done my heart good.
Hey,
DM.
last time you asked for more maps, I delivered.
I'm here for it. Hey, you have a huge library of
This is
many,
so
many
cool.
assets from all these wonderful connections you've made.
So you can see that the people of Kuroyuri they fish like directly at their feet. There are lily pads in the water beneath them. No matter how long or how big this long this village has been here or how big it grows, the water is always fresh, clean, and pure. There are boats all over the place. And as you are traveling through the village, Jisha's recognized and allowed in. There's different. They don't have like the proud banners that the Botan village had. They seem to be more low key, going about their business. Could I get all 3 of our wayfarers, so not Jisha, each of you to roll 1d20, please?
Oh. Also, while we're on our way to our approach, John's going to ask Jisha, Is there a particular motif or iconography that this village uses in comparison to the bravery motif that yours had?
Oh, yes.
Homework! Oh God!
I'm happy to mouthpiece this one for you if you'd like.
Please.
All right. But I'm going to go ahead and do this by way of demonstration. Not that it's too late, but it's going to be more fun this way.
Okay.
Could you roll 1d20 for me, Matt?
I did. It was a 10.
Oh, wait, I remember now.
Go ahead. Do you want to take it?
Yes. Well, the Kuroyuri are actually known witches and spellbinders who use dangerous magic.
Interesting. Dangerous magic, you say?
Yes. Their virtues are love and curse. So kind of playing on both sides of that spectrum.
I love it already.
I remember.
And you are +1 XP there, mate.
+1 XP. As you're explaining this, a group of children run past. One of them has a wooden fish and is carrying it, running away from the others who are all chasing him. They stumble directly into Gastone. And bump into him. Gastone, roll a dexterity saving throw.
Let's see.
Is this village anything like those birds we just saw?
No, that's an Oniyuri thing. This is not their thing. A 9. Okay, so Gastone, the kid with the wooden fish bumps into you and just falls over and drops it. One of the other kids snatches it up, yells, I got it, and starts running in the other direction, and all the kids start chasing them.
It's like tag, but with fish.
Yep. And the kid who you knocked over scowls, looks at you, and spits Slippy Foot and runs off.
Slippy Foot. Were they casting a spell?
John, roll an Arcana check.
I'm gonna guess yes.
14.
A 14. Yeah, that was a curse.
Really?
Yeah, he wasn't
Fucking
calling
piece of shit.
Gastone a Slippy Foot. That was the Slippy Foot curse. This kid just put a curse on him.
No way. I
Slippy Foot?
love this.
What'd you say?
What is Slippy Foot?
Roll a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage the moment those words leave your mouth.
Oh. With disadvantage?
With disadvantage.
Wow. That's not
Wait,
looking good.
a curse is a spell, right?
Uh-huh. All right, the moment he asks what's Slippy Foot, he steps on a fish that you could swear wasn't there a moment ago, slips, and falls into the water below with a splash.
Oh, no. Mate, was that an enchantment curse?
Let me see. It would function as basically as a weird variation on Bestow Curse.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought it was like a minor bestow curse.
Yeah, it's a very limited Bestow Curse.
Nice. That is necromancy, technically.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that's not good.
I mean, it's fun. It's funny. Are you okay, Gastone? Need a hand?
I would like to climb out of the water and say, I'm gonna fucking kill that child.
Wait, can I use a reaction when he did the curse to like grab the kid?
As a mage slayer, yes, you could do that.
Oh.
You want to roll an athletics check?
It's going to be interesting.
All right, roll an athletics check against a young human child.
I feel like you should get advantage for that one.
I got an 18. Let's see what you got.
Mate, would this happen to be a hidden village with the tastiest of children?
No.
What?
What is that a reference to? It's a reference to something.
If you know, you know, my dude. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. All right. Well, unfortunately, I'm adding to my list, my notes afterwards. A hidden village. Google it. Not on stream.
The tastiest of children.
All right. So unless you've got some extenuating circumstances here, I don't know if the Mage Slayer feat would give you advantage on this. The kid slips out from under your grasp.
Run, kid, run!
After seeing what happened to the party, Jisha would blink in front of the kid
Okay.
and stop him. Yeah.
Oh. Sorry, kid.
As the kid teleports, you see that he's got blue ears poking up out of his tousled hair.
Oh.
Fuzzy blue
Would I
ears.
I would know
Yeah.
like who that is, right?
Yeah. He's a foxkin.
Ah, yes.
They have a connection to the spirits, power over luck, invisibility, a few other things.
Oh.
Sly, like a
Very
fox.
sly, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not
I
all
think
the
I would
people of
just-
Kuroyuri are, but some of them are.
Is it dark right now?
I
It's
would,
evening. Red light. Go ahead.
You know, what was that?
I'm losing the game now because of that guy.
Okay. You didn't have to curse him. Reverse it.
Oh, what form are you in right now?
I'm in a human form
Okay.
right now.
Puts his hands on his hips and says, "Hey, that's what he gets for standing in the way."
Now I will convert to my Blink Beast form, getting very large in his face, and I will go reverse it.
And leaps off into the water and starts swimming away. That was the word that broke the curse.
What word did
I
he
would-
say?
Slippy foot again.
Oh, again. Okay, just same.
Yeah, just said the exact same word and broke the curse.
Mm,
John, you
nice.
recognize this as not a powerful curse and not a long-lasting one, but
like
this
a
is
cantrip curse, right?
it's a cantrip curse, but this is something every person in the Kuroyuri village can do.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Jisha
It's
would
like, Cryas.
retransform back into her human form and look back at the group. You guys ready?
Well done.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you very
liked
much.
it.
By the way, I'm liking this. Why do you walk around with that mask on? This is incredibly impressive.
Well, I fit in a little better this way. Blink
Really?
Beasts aren't
Here?
well, Blink Beasts have a tumultuous history with some of the villages, and
Oh.
it is just easier if they don't have to look at it. They know.
Tumultuous how?
Well, we are from the Bloom somehow, but it's a bit of a mystery. A lot of villages don't really understand it. So,
That's a good thing, though, right? You all worship, or at least have a connection to the bloom, in a way.
well, yes, but there are some villages like the Oniyuri that don't really want to have that kind of relationship and are looking to break away from that. So it's better if they just don't have to see it.
You're like an angel.
No.
Be not afraid. And most people, when they look at you, they get a little bit freaked out because you're very impressive, or they don't really understand a lot about you. And so it's much easier to walk around in a human guise. I understand. Very good.
Yeah, sure. Something like that.
Okay.
Well, I
Do you
think you
think,
look
like-
awesome.
Jisha gets like very you can't really see, but like in her voice I feel like you'd be able to hear that she's like mildly uncomfortable with people complimenting and like being happy about seeing the Blink Beast form, because that's very new to her. So she kind of just like shuffle away and be like, we've got to get going. We've got to go talk to what's her name again?
Zanami.
Zanami, yes, that.
Hey, mate.
Yes.
Question. This is not super important, but I'm kind of wondering, just because, Edelvina is here.
Mhm.
Would we be able to say that she actually snatched the wooden fish from the kids and they're actually holding some kind of dummy like item?
Like she
and they're all
swapped the
holding-
fish.
Yeah, like she actually has the wooden fish, and they're like
Done.
running around with something else that they think is the fish, and later on they're gonna realize, hey, wait a minute, where's our toy? And she's like, ha ha ha.
Idiot.
I love it. I love it. I'm here for it.
Nice.
As Edelvina chuckles to herself over her new prize, you arrive at the very heart of the Kuroyuri Village, a beautiful flowering tree dripping with magical energy. Brilliant blood red feathered birds with scythe-like beaks roost in its tree, trilling and chirping to each other and watching you as you approach.
Jisha, where are we?
Oh, that's a great question.
At that exact moment, you can hear from the other side of the tree splashing and muttering. On the far side is Kuriyami Zanami, who I will show you the last piece of art that Bibichu did for us for this show.
Oh, here it comes.
Now,
Let's go!
No way.
Hey!
Yay! I
Fox
love
mommy?
it.
Who are you?
anyways,
Moving on.
Yeah, we're just gonna slide right past that.
I don't see the problem, but okay.
sitting, kicking her feet in the water, drinking from a clay bottle, covered with marks that clearly, basically, if this was a Western, they would say XXX for moonshine on them, is the wisest and most powerful witch of the Kuroyuri Village. Kuroyuri Zanami. She's got a couple of piercings in her ears. She's got blue hair. You gotta have blue hair.
Just do.
Otherwise, dressed fairly simply.
I guess Jisha would approach and excuse me, are you Zanami?
Zanami turns as she sees a lot of you approach, swishes her jug around for a moment, glances at it, dips it down into the water and scoops up some just river water. Says, "Yep, you, Botan, yep."
Yes, that's correct. Shiori sent us. Said that you might be able to help.
Okay. Yep. She sloshes the river water around in her jar, flicks it twice, shakes it, pops it open, gives it a sniff, nods approvingly, and takes a swig out of it. What do you want?
Well, it's kind of a long story, and is there somewhere we might be able to talk privately?
Yeah. She points towards this hut just to the west that is on the upper level. She will kip herself up and guide you over to a shack on stilts above the water, just across from the heart of the village.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And the rest of you are completely able to follow.
John is investigating the tree, and I preemptively rolled Arcana.
Okay. This world doesn't have ley lines per se, because the power doesn't flow through the earth, it flows through the bloom, through the plants themselves. But this would be a magical nexus. A lot of magical energy emanates and resonates in this tree.
Oh.
And it has power over fate and power over love. And you notice it is the nexus of an extremely powerful curse.
Oh.
But you can't see where you can see that the curse is woven and grown into the tree. The flowers, the way that it's been pruned, the way that everything's been it's been sculpted, forms a very complex living spell matrix. A spell matrix that is capable of shifting back and forth because it's organic. Runes are stationary. Once you code the spell in, you've coded the spell in. This is alive, it grows, it changes. And the power is not focused in this village. The power flows out through the roots into the world. But where it's reaching, you can't quite tell.
By curse, do you mean similar to like the Night Twist, or a very different form of curse?
A very different curse. The Night Twist was a malevolent power that grew wild and spread like a virus. This has been curated. This is a magical nexus that has been used and carefully pruned into a curse, and it's not one that like spreads. It's one that's been very precisely targeted.
Can John tell, is this tree very old, or does it look young?
It's very old.
Very old. Okay, so
very
before this was around back when the world was poisoned to the steel.
Yes.
Interesting.
Okay.
Hey, Asena, can you come take a look at this tree?
No.
Oh, understandable.
Yes.
Jisha,
Hey, I can do it. I can look at it.
Oh, okay. Well, come right on over.
What about
So-
this tree?
Well, this is a very, very powerful thing, and John kind of explains, at least it's in his own way, what you had just shared with us all. I'm wondering, can you do that thing that you do where you kind of connect with and bond with nature and see if there's a spirit within the nature of this tree, or is it just a spell itself, magical energy on its own?
See if there's a spirit in the tree.
Yeah, like I want to ascertain if this tree itself. I know it's an alive, functioning thing, and it has a connection both to magic and to a curse. But I'm wondering if this is more than just a thing, if this is a being.
Okay, I don't quite understand.
See if you can talk to it.
I can't talk to trees.
You can't talk to trees?
I can't talk to trees.
I've seen you turn a door into a wall. I've seen you turn a pencil into a bow staff. I saw you turn a ship into a whatever the heck you did to that ship.
What language do you think trees speak?
What languages did wolves speak?
Wolf.
Okay, but what language is that?
Were you saying this tree speaks tree?
I'm just saying you speak wolf, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't speak tree. Have you ever tried?
No, I've never tried to talk to a tree.
Well, maybe you should try. Use your key, focus your energy, and see if you can connect to it.
I'm gonna lay my hands on the tree and see if I can speak with a tree.
Okay. You spend one focus point in order to use this power. And the tree is far more full of power, but no more alive and aware than any other tree.
It just seems like a stronger tree.
But can she speak with it?
She can speak with it. It doesn't, again, it won't have, you don't know how much it has to say, but you can speak with it.
Hi, tree.
What voice do I want to use for the tree?
This was all Matt's ploy in order to make Joe talk as a tree.
I love it.
Rust burgeons from sleep.
Okay, so it turns out it's really hard to understand trees.
Was that even legible, like, at all? Because
Not really.
My roots grow deep, and
Yeah,
then
roots
rumble,
and-
rumble, rumble.
And something sleep. I think you said sleep in there.
I liked it.
I like it too. I just couldn't
Yeah,
understand what you
very
were saying.
true.
So, Jisha, you have a power on your character sheet you haven't used yet.
Yes.
It's should be under dynamic powers. It's one of the
Vegetation. That's correct.
Mm-hmm. Now, you don't have to, but if you wanted to, I imagine you're following Zanami as she's like leading you towards the hut while the wayfarers are all sort of gathered around this tree trying to talk to it. So if you notice, you could use that. Otherwise, you could just follow the witch into her hut.
I don't think I would notice. I don't
Okay.
think I know anything of what's happening right now. I'm just very like one track minded, goal oriented. Gotta talk to Zanami.
Inside the hut, there are paper shutters over all the windows, and there are spheres all over the place. Glass spheres, clay spheres, polished precious stone spheres, metal spheres. It looks like that used to be like a nut that like the pit of a really big fruit that has been polished into a sphere. Some of them are hanging on strings. Some of them are just sitting around on, like loose on the floor. Zanami steps over a couple as she enters. But yeah, that's just like, aside from a cot for sleeping and a pot for potion making and a couple of scrolls and some sprigs of herbs, it's just a lot of spheres, a lot of orbs all over the place.
Cool. Jisha, kind of in awe of everything, be very wary not to touch anything as she enters into the hut.
Okay. She takes another swig of the bottle that she filled up with river water. What are you? Floofers, hush.
Sorry, I also got a floofer.
I couldn't tell which one it was.
Hey, mate, real quick, before we move away from the tree, would John be able to take a branch or a twig from it without these birds freaking out?
The birds are definitely watching you. You may certainly try.
Okay. John goes ahead and he uses his silent image in order to position himself to where he is just like under this bird and preventing line of sight from both by putting up a magical screen like he often does. And he's also going to have Chester jump off of he's going to ask rather Chester to jump off of Jisha and try and divert their attention over between the two of them, hopefully kind of distracting them and then covering himself as he just takes a small clipping.
Okay. Roll sleight of hand. Out my flesh.
Do not say anything until I see what happens to see if I want to modify it. I am going to modify it.
Okay.
I'm going to dump a deduction dice, and that would be a 23. Let me know if it fails. I have something else in reserve.
It does not fail. You managed
Very
to
good.
take a clipping of the tree.
Okay, and John, just very quickly, as soon as he takes it, he just goes, admire, and then walks off after Jisha.
Cool. Roll a charisma saving throw, please.
No, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and use a luck die in order to not have that be what happens. Instead, that happens, a 19.
Okay. You have taken a clipping from the tree. And I know... Ooh.
I know that the luck in this village is a little bit different than it is elsewhere. Does that do anything?
Don't worry about it. Okay, anything else from the wayfarers in the tree before we cut over to a scene with Jisha before everyone else arrives and then everyone else arrives? I'm taking that as a no and proceeding.
Good
All right.
call.
Jisha, you're inside the hut with Zanami, who grabs a sort of a quartz sphere that's been heavily polished. It's got a couple of veins of rose quartz in it, so it's mostly like a milky translucent with some pink in there. Grabs it and starts tossing it back and forth between her hands. The bottle of river water is now just sort of floating in front of her as she tosses this back and forth. Who are these people? Where'd they come from?
Well, that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess that's the complication.
Mm-hmm.
Orvi, Oniyuri, showed up on top of our mountain in the Botan village, claiming he wanted to open up the way gates. We found him there, or I found him there, alongside a pretty big squad of people. And then all of a sudden, as he got close to the Waygate stones, they started to glow. And all of a sudden, there was this symbol on the floor, and these people showed up. The people that I'm traveling with. We took them back down to the village. They explained that they're here for something that is in the heart of the steel. A tear drop, if you will. Claiming that somebody from their world sent them to this one to find it and bring it back. We made our way over here. We ran into some of the Oniyuri tigers, and they had chunks taken out of their face and their back. We were able to talk with them, and they ended up telling us about this a very tall being with metal plating, and the wayfarers called it something a furnace. A furnace? A face like a furnace? But that had taken bites out of the tigers and apparently been eating blossom spirits in the woods.
Eating them?
Eating them, yes. They were filled with this purple flame that I couldn't put out without some spiritually imbued water. But we did manage to mend them. They will heal. But I don't know. That's our problem. Shiori said that you might be able to help us or have information about how to move forward.
Okay. All right. Zanami goes over to the door and swings it open. And if Gastone was still under the Slippy Foot curse, he would have been first in front. He would have gotten smacked and he would have fallen off. But fortunately, he was intimidated out of it. Who's in front and almost gets smacked in the face when Zanami opens the door?
Probably John, since he left the tree and then went after Jisha.
All right. Zanami with the bottle of river water floating, just drifting next to her, right at like shoulder height or right at elbow height, goes, "Hey! Oh, get in here."
Hi, welcome. Good to see you. Is that holy, by the way? Holy river water. We heard you guys got some of that. Not really important, just wondering.
You tell me. She unscrews the top and gestures and mage hands it over to you. It smells like very, very strong alcohol.
This was from the river, right?
It came from the river, yeah.
You were able to enchant this river water into alcohol, or the river itself is alcohol?
You know how many boatmen would be just crashing into each other left and right? Our kids drink this stuff and give them all
I'm just clarifying.
brain
Your
damage.
kids can also cast curses. I'm just wondering. I'm new here.
Yeah. Come on in.
Can I have a hint?
Yeah, plenty to go around.
John takes a swig.
What's your constitution modifier, John?
At least +1. I'll let you know in just a moment.
right.
Yep, +2.
+2. Great. You can have 2 drinks before you start having to make saves. The lot of you pile into Zanami's witch hut, which is, again, full of spheres and orbs all over the place. And you all get inside. She eyes you up and says, "All right, where are you from?"
Oh, we're going to do this again? We're not from here.
Yeah, I know. Where?
A planet unlike your own. I mean, do you want hyper specifics? What are we looking for here?
What do you call it and what's it like?
They're from Yord. I'm from Earth.
Okay, what's it like?
Well, let me continue. Jeez, it's a terrestrial world. Not unlike your own, although not quite as visually majestic, but we have our own nice things. There's more steel where we come from.
How much more?
A lot more.
A lot more, huh?
Well, more than what you have going around out here. I don't know about your ancient subterranean steel world, but
Okay.
I came from a jungle with no steel.
Okay. Same world? Different world?
Same world.
The two of them, same world.
Okay, yeah.
Very
Let's-
different walks of life.
let's-
He's more Onigiri, she's more Botan.
Zanami gives Gastone a look for a moment.
Most people are Onigiri where we come from, and it's not a bad thing. We didn't poison our world.
Yet.
No, what do you mean yet?
I'm just saying.
Yet.
Yet. You haven't cut down my jungle yet.
I was never gonna cut down your jungle.
No,
I
you
was
were
just
gonna
gonna
cause
blow it
a
up in a
tiny little explosion
Yeah,
to kill a
exactly.
very terrifying monster that
Very
lives
true.
there. That also ate your soul.
Okay, lots of steel. Tell me about the sun.
We have one, both of us.
Great, excellent news. What's it do?
It shines.
Right?
The sun
Okay,
is
like
warm.
Daytime.
daytime, nighttime.
Yeah, we have a moon as
Nighttime.
well.
Okay.
The moon is better than the sun.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there is also a moon that's coming to eat everything, but that's beside the point.
Okay,
It's a different
different. There's not like a faceless queen of a tribe of snow demons. You're not.
No, that's in a different world.
Okay.
Oh, demons.
Okay. All right. So you're not from the world weave. Okay.
Does John know what she's talking about?
No, you do not. But you have a chance. Roll a flat intelligence check.
– 14.
14. It sounds like a constellation, interconnected group of worlds.
Is it one of these other four?
Yeah, it's one of the this set of worlds that are all connected. This is the world weave. They're all
Okay, so-
bound together.
Yes,
it's a
John
local network.
clarifies they are not from the world weave.
Okay, all right, and you're
I
going to
could have
the,
told you that from the beginning.
you're going to the Heart of Steel. Well, I don't know how much you people know. You're going to the Heart of Steel. Why?
John ends up using his silent image in order to create this very spooky atmosphere. And he shows that there are skyscrapers as the camera zooms in. And there is the what do they call the Triple Unit Society, right? That's what they were
Mhm.
called. Yeah, we
I'm
zoom into
imagining the Batman the Animated Series opening.
yeah,
sequence
exactly.
Right now.
As we zoom in, and we're in the hall of Mr. Lowe as he is presenting, and John's doing a very, as much as he can remember, of what Mr. Lowe had looked like and what. they
Okay,
gave him.
Gastone. Now you can roll a performance check.
Okay.
Props. Supporting actor. You're from the industry. All right. Zanami's
It's-
intoxication has increased.
It zooms in where both Asena and Gastone are part of this image, like their actual forms are part of this image. And then John steps forward and takes on the guise of Mr. Lowe and states, "When you go through my basement, you are going to travel through a portal that will take you across space and time and plunge you into a dimension far different than our own. There, you must cross 7 mountains to a place where the bloom consumes the steel. From there, a single dewdrop will fall from a thunderstorm. Bring it back to me, and we will forgive the wrong that you made upon me and my own." And then it all disappears. And John's just standing there looking very like, ha ha ha.
Okay, John and Asena roll performance checks.
Righto.
I got this. Don't worry. It's gonna be great.
I believe you're gonna do better than me.
11 and
Yes.
16. All right.
I'm going to use a deduction die.
John sees Asena upstaging him and is like, unacceptable. You both get 16s. Okay.
It's less about the upstage and more so John's putting on a very theatrical. I kind of was hoping that my
You
my
didn't
spell
see
was
my
gonna help on
performance,
that.
okay? It was great.
Yes, it was wonderful. You stood there and said nothing very, very eloquently.
I was acting.
I am acting. Okay. And you need my help to get there. Right. That makes sense. And you're being
By the
chased.
way, what were those orbs you were talking about earlier?
Don't worry about it. The room is literally filled with spheres of all sorts of different make and material. Like, you can just see them lying around all over the place. Some of them are hanging by strings. What was that?
Can I ponder one?
You want to take one?
I want to ponder one.
You can ponder one. You can even take one if you want, because chat did give you a treasure.
Oh, true. Yeah, dibs.
You may pick.
Wait.
What?
This is a town of curses. I'm not taking shit.
No, chat gave you a treasure. You're clear.
Oh.
If you were just going to start rolling sleight of hand in here, we'd be having a talk. But chat gave you a treasure. This is free and clear.
Gon starts rolling sleight of hand in here.
It.
Okay. So, 7 mountains apart. Bluster, fluff. Don't have to cross them. They're all tall, big old spires. You can mostly go around them, just a slight incline as you make your way in. Further you go, more blossom spirits, more dangerous, closer to the woods sort of right where the big metropolitan center, the old industrial Wajagalaga.
Wajagalaga.
Is that another mountain?
Oh, no, you're thinking of Kilimanjaro.
I am, actually, yes.
Okay, so 2 ways in. Need to be ready for both. You! She points at Gastone. Shiori already give you the whole...
What?
He promised to only do what she didn't give him permission for, if that makes sense.
Oh. Yeah, what he said.
The steel is dead. The steel stays dead. All right?
Yeah, totally. Stay dead.
We're pretty confident that the thing that attacked the tigers is of the steel.
Really good point.
So it's kind of alive now.
And I just want to say for the record, that is not my fault.
That is not his fault, no.
What is dead may never die.
Okay. Something's eating blossom spirits. I've never known the steel to do that before.
Apparently has a connection to a purple flame. Does that ring any kind of bell?
Azeroth.
Does that ring any kind of bell?
No, what it's a look. The Waygates, all right, the Waygates, the Weave, all connected by the Weavers, long 10,000 years ago. No one's got records of that. It's all been lost.
Okay.
At least 5 worlds. Got ours. We call it Hana now. You've got Aradia, Womb of Life. You've got Bazaroth, which is dying. The demon sun orbits the demon sun. Not good, not great. There was Arcadia, but they infected it. And Icarus. So,
who's they? Infected the world?
Bazaroth, the demons.
They took over another world. Okay.
Mm-hmm. No, they didn't take it over so much as launched. They ruined it. Fairies had to leave. Don't live there anymore. The fairies left. Look, the point of all this is, this sounds like Bazaroth, the world that orbits the demon star. They've been cut off for a couple hundred years. They built all kinds of machines and sacrifices and magic and eating souls and the like of it. And yeah, the Waygates used to go there. One of the places it went. So I'm glad they're closed. They should be closed. But mixing the steel with eating spirits, Bazaroth. How'd one of them get here? That's the question.
I mean, do you happen to think that Bazaroth might have been the cause of what made the steel in the first place?
Yeah.
Like, made it as bad as it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. Look, there's always folks being clever and trying to build a better water wheel so they can make unlimited pies or whatever it is that they want to do. But
What is
that's
up with you people in pies?
look, pies take a lot of work. All right,
I mean,
And-
not more than any other.
cold hands. No, but no. There's an art to a good pie. You got to get the crust just right, or the whole thing collapses. You have to get the right amount of butter in there, or it's not flaky enough. You got to get the filling right. It takes hours to cook. It's a labor of love. It's art. It's a craft. It's a deliberate process, every single step of which is infused with meaning and purpose. All right?
John turns to the wayfarers. We need to get our hands on one of these pies.
I like pies.
Who doesn't? Pie's great. But
You know, it's probably good for the job, our work. We need to know what's in these pies, why they're so addictive, how they're constructed, and maybe we could trace it back to the steel.
roll a persuasion check, Asena.
Or a deception.
I would accept deception as well. I would accept either.
They're the same.
I thought they might be. 11. Yeah, great. Dewdrop first, pie second. Dewdrop! They used to fall from Aradia, the womb of life. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's an egg.
I thought it was a planet. What do you mean an egg?
No, it's the dewdrop. It's poetic dragon nonsense. It's an egg.
Okay.
They used to fall. They fall from lightning storms on Aradia, and that's where baby Azrai come from. All right, but sometimes they would fall into the maelstrom and they'd end up somewhere else. So your guy thinks
Oh.
an egg is gonna fall. Predicted it, precognitive divination that knows where one's gonna fall in a bad place. Wants you to bring it back to him to be his kid. All right.
Yeah, that tracks.
That's
Is that something a dragon would know?
it depends on the dragon.
I mean, he hasn't been back here for, who knows how long.
But if he's been here since the bloom, you might know about the Dragon of Wisdom. And the Dragon of Wisdom knows everything.
We know the Dragon of Wisdom.
You do?
Yeah, you're looking at her.
No, sorry, wrong.
Wow.
You have to ask me about if you were the Dragon of Wisdom, you'd be teaching me how to make pies. All right?
Well, about that, Asena and I here were given the task of a trial back in the Botan village of going up our waterfall. We were both able to make it to the top, and at the top, we were imbued with some kind of power that was reminiscent of the Dragon of Wisdom. And that pendant around Asena's neck did start to glow, as did my face.
Mm-hmm. And how do you know the Dragon of Wisdom even likes pies?
I don't. But,
That's a good point.
But within the refuge of infinite knowledge, the Dragon of Wisdom would have some pie recipes rattling around and would know where to find them. It wouldn't be asking me, the witch of the Kuroyuri Village, about pies. But a Dragon of Wisdom may have been the weaver who created the waygates in the first place.
And thus created the pie.
No, that's completely the wrong conclusion. But regardless of that, that means you, Jisha, you are waybound. And it makes sense that this wouldn't have come up until the waygates opened again. Are they open? Like just open?
No. We weren't able to reopen, although we didn't try because that seemed very dangerous.
Yeah, smart.
Well, I wanted to try, but
Yeah,
you made it pretty clear we shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Right, Bazaroth, Demon World. Sorry. She takes
the-
another swig of her drink.
The person who opened the way gates for us has been
Uh-huh.
here before, so I wouldn't think that they're like publicly open.
Mm-hmm. Mr.
Maybe
Lowe,
just one of those
right?
things where, like, if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I still wonder where this giant spirit-eating guy came from, but okay. But one thing at a time. She starts tossing a wooden ball between her hands and just watching it go back and forth as she answers. Okay. You, Waybound. When the way gates were open, there were people, mostly angels and demons and that sort of thing, who, if you knew how to call them, and you stood at any gate that went to their world, they would hear you, no matter where they were. And they could come help you, they could protect you, they could answer threats and stuff like that. It hasn't been a thing since the Bloom, because the way gates are closed. But you're one of them. Anyone who knows how to call you can stand at any portal, and if they know how to call you, you'll hear it, and you can go to them. Probably,
And vice versa, I assume.
like what? Like how?
Well, how did we get here if that wasn't the case?
You open the way gates. That's a one-to-one thing. With her, you walk up to a gateway and you say, "Hey, Jisha Qui." And if she hears you and she's on the other side of the planet, far away from a way gate, but she hears you, she can say yes, and bam, there she is at your portal.
Okay.
Used to be elite guardians, protectors, warrior knights, and defenders and angels and
Wait.
stuff like that.
Wait.
Uh-huh.
I can what?
Yeah. Anybody who knows how to call you can call you to any portal.
Me specifically or blink beasts?
You.
Me.
You don't have to go.
Oh. Okay. Sure.
Well, I mean, maybe you'll have to go. There's usually a talisman or something that can compel, but most of the time they invoke your name at a portal. You hear them. You can choose to answer. Go wherever you're needed. Help those in need. Bravery,
Oh.
Botan, the.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I get it.
Yeah. Wouldn't have noticed until the way gates opened. Maybe why they opened around you, or did no, because you said they opened it from the other side.
Yes. I don't think it was me.
Okay.
It was when
Waybound.
Orvie approached. Maybe it was a coincidence.
They said
Maybe
they
it was
came in
Orvie.
from the other side as well. So maybe Orvie didn't do
Yeah.
jack.
True. I did send him through a portal away from the Waygate stones.
Right.
Yeah. Apparently he's lost in the woods right now, running away from the monster thing.
A spirit eater.
Yeah.
I was talking to you. She looks at John. And you. She points at Gastone. And she points at Asena. Pie. Bazaroth. Yes. Somebody came from Bazaroth and brought bad machines with them. Made it worse. What you said, dead right. They got it from off-world, though. They rolled with a bad crowd. They even amongst the demon courts of Bazaroth, they are up to... You're right. It doesn't matter. You're right. Okay. You want to go to the heart of this deal. If you do anything to awaken or empower it, I'm gonna curse your ass. Real bad. Okay? But two ways to get there. Overland and underground.
Okay.
You, she points at Gastone. I've been holding on to these. It's my responsibility as the Witch of Kuroyuri Village. I learned it from my teacher, and from her teacher, and from their teacher. We've been holding on to these. You need to look at them, and we're going to figure them out. And she opens a sealed bamboo tube with wax on either side and pours out huge blueprints and schematics that depict the subway system, the transit system, the tunnels, all the underground infrastructure of an absolutely massive, fairly high-tech city. They aren't all in great shape, and they're marked in some unfamiliar languages. But she basically puts the whole thing in front of you and says, you're going to sit here, and we're going to figure this out. All right?
Well, shit.
You and you, she points at John and at Asena. You and you, she points at Jisha. You have, do you have a guide?
Her.
Jisha's our guide.
No.
Yes.
You have a
Me.
guide. Who do you have?
Me?
Yeah. Who do you have?
She's got Ken.
Ken?
I am the guide. I thought.
The fish?
Well, I also have Ken, my
Okay.
spirit blossom.
Okay. The Bloom's heart, where Hana saw the Dragon of Wisdom, wraps around the old city of steel. And nobody goes in and nobody goes out except for the Blossom spirits. So you have one who's going to take you with,
Yes.
but they don't.
So we need to find them blossom spirits also.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
what about her? John points to Edelvina, who's been here all along.
Who's been here the whole time. Yeah, her too. She's so stealthy. She's a ninja. Wow.
She is. Actually, point of order, Edelvina works for Mr. Lowe and has for some time. She might have some nice information
Okay, we
about
can talk.
how he does what he does. Because point of order, Zanami, how do we find our way back? Once we complete this quest, we don't specifically know how to reactivate your gates, which is why I was inquiring about the connection that Jisha might have.
Well, hopefully she can figure it out and you can get out of here. Not the expert. But hey, you'll be in the heart of the steel. Maybe you'll find something there. Maybe you'll figure something out.
Well, that's what I was asking about the whole dragon business. Is it specifically Jisha, or is it anyone that's become a dragon?
No, it's her. She's tangled up with the Dragon of Wisdom, and the Dragon of Wisdom made the old world weave.
She's also tangled up with the Dragon of Wisdom because she is the Dragon of Wisdom. And John points at Asena.
Didn't we talk about avatars? Less so
Wow.
just
Subsidiary, tomato, tomato.
Zamani
Are you saying I'm not the Dragon of Wisdom?
Zamani pokes the amulet around your neck. Doink, 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 doink.
I'm gonna jump back.
Okay. Swig. I don't think so.
Oh, what if I made it glow or something?
Every single sphere in her hut begins to glow.
I don't know what's happening.
I am Zanami, the Witch of Wisdom.
You don't seem very open to the ideas of anything else.
Look, there's a scale of magnitude here, all right? Dragon of Wisdom transcends realities.
Uh-huh.
Right now, you're sitting in my hut. You haven't done... look, there's something here, okay? She attempts to poke again, but you're just out of poking distance.
I'm just saying, I think you could be open to the possibility that other things could be present. That's all.
Can I planar shift across the room?
Yes, you can.
That's what I want to do.
Okay, everybody in the room needs to roll a saving throw.
Destroy all of the spheres in this room. Yeah. It's okay. I gave us all temporary hit points.
Yep.
I
Go
forgot
ahead.
about that part.
Yeah. Is your planar slip on there? Where is it?
Yeah, it is.
John very quickly shoves Chester in the briefcase for a moment.
Okay. John stuffs the cat in the briefcase. Asena flashes with silver misty light and then phases across the room. And where she left, there's this pulse like a psychic wind that just batters the entire room. Everybody roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
The DC is 14. So
Wow.
Jisha
Nice.
and Etelvina save. Everyone else takes, what is
Girl
it?
Power.
2d8 psychic damage,
it's
3d6 force damage, which is definitely not enough to kill anyone in this room. And spheres just go flying all over the place. The paper shutters on the windows get blasted out. There's balls and spheres just rolling all over the place. Total pandemonium. At the end of it, Zanami is crumpled
Wait,
up.
real quick. Before,
Yes.
as she's about to teleport away, John sees this, grabs the cat in the briefcase, and then looks over at Zanami and says, "Owaii mau shinru."
Nani? Matt scoops up the inspiration that somebody left in chat for somebody who would say that exact thing. And our adventure tonight is going to end with Zanami sitting crumpled up in a corner with a dazed look and her magical floating liquor transforming bottle sort of like leaking over her head as it just happens to land there. And everyone else is in disarray. And that's where we're going to call our adventure for tonight. When we return next time, our heroes delve into the bloom to attempt to form a bond with the reclusive blossom spirits that will lead them into the heart of the steel and the conclusion of our adventures in Yokai Blossom. So stick around for the next couple of episodes. Thanks again to Daisuke Publishing Company for sponsoring. You can pick up a copy of Anime 5e on Drive-Thru RPG. Give it a search. Look in the description of this video. Fantastic system. We're going to play a little bit more with it next time when we custom design some blossom spirits. And tune in tomorrow for Ioth Academy, next week for more Coriander Society. Take care. When I find the right button to press, there it is.